Problem 27a says x squared minus 5x plus 3 equals 0. And they want you to solve this quadratic equation. So if you're going to solve, you're going to label your a, which is 1, your b, which is negative 5, and your c, which is 3. Because those come from your quadratic equation, the number in front, a is over here, b is the coefficient of x, and 3 is the constant, which is c. So you plug those into your quadratic formula, and the quadratic formula we learned in class is that x equals negative b. So you take the opposite of b, which is 5, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so negative 5 squared minus 4 times a times c. And you're going to square root that whole thing, and then you're going to divide that by 2 times a. Okay? So now you need to simplify. So if you simplify this, you get 5 plus or minus, and you can put that whole thing that's in the radical, you can put that into your calculator. And if you do that for this whole piece, that you put into your calculator, you're going to get 25 minus 12. Okay. And if you do that, you get 13. So for the radical piece, you're going to get square root 13 all over 2. Okay? So from there, that would be our solution because it says to solve. So that's our final answer for that. Now, the directions also say they want the sum and they want the product. Okay? So if they want the sum and product, that means they want us to add and subtract the solution. You're going to take your two answers. So x equals 5 plus square root 13 over 2, and x equals 5 minus square root 13 over 2. If we're going to do sum, then all we're going to do is add those two. So you have 5 plus square root 13 over 2 plus 5 minus square root 13 over 2. And if you add those two, the square root of 13s cancel out because one is positive and one is negative. And then if you add the 5s, 5 plus 5 will give you 10. And the denominator is 2, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. If you want the product, you're going to multiply your two answers. So you have 5 plus square root 13 over 2 times 5 minus square root 13 over 2. So to multiply, the bottom is easy, it's just 4. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4. The top, you're actually going to have to use an expansion box for because you have two pieces. So if you're going to set up an expansion box for the top, you're going to have 5 and square root 13 because 1 is positive. And then you're going to have 5 and negative square root 13. Okay, so the numbers inside will be 25, 5 square root of 13, negative 5 square root of 13, and then square root of 13 times square root of 13, if you plug it into your calculator and you have a negative, it's going to give you negative 13. Okay, so when you plug those into your calculator, you have to be careful to get this value here because you have negative square root 13 times square root 13. Your calculator is going to give you negative square root of 169, and that equals negative 13. Okay, that's how I got that value. So once you do that, your final answer for this piece ends up being 25. These two middle terms will cancel out. Notice one is positive and one is negative. Okay, and you're going to have minus 13. okay? And 25 minus 13 is 12, okay? So if we go back to our problem, we know the top multiplied together equals 12. That's what we got from the expansion box. And then 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, so they wanted the sum, and we have the sum. They wanted the product, and we have the product. Okay.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.